Hi.
Hello,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm well, and yourself?
Good. How old are you?
38.
38. Single or married?
Divorced.
All right. What do you got? We're talking about side chicks or wives, but pretty much anything at this point.
Well, I've been on both sides of the spectrum, so
Hmm.
point I
You
just
think you think modern women would rather be or better cut out to be side chicks or wives?
I think all women deserve to be a wife. But
Hold on. Oh, please. Why? Why?
why? Well,
Hmm.
because every woman should experience that. Just because they have, how the other girl was saying, she had a bad mouth and all that. Some maybe it's a man out there that can correct it. That's my thought process on that. And that,
But I'm understanding deserve to be a wife?
well, because
Deserve to be a wife. Deserve is an entitlement. That means you don't have to work or earn it. You're just given it. Why should all women be given the title of wife?
I don't think it should be given. Let's go.
You said deserve, and I want to be clear. Deserve
It's a
to have something or to show qualities worthy. Reward. What do you mean by deserve? To be worthy of. Merit deserves a chance. So women deserve to be a wife. Okay. Do men deserve
to be.
sex?
Yeah, absolutely.
They do?
Yeah, I believe.
All men deserve sex.
Yes. Why? That's a part of it.
No, no, I mean not from his wife. Do men deserve sex, period? From women.
Yeah.
So any man that wants to sleep with you, you give it to him, cousin.
That's no. I just not any man that wants to sleep with me, but I'm just saying.
But you said all men deserve sex. So that means there has to be a woman to get. So a man can come up to you and say, I'm a man, I deserve sex. And you're like, yeah, you do. Here you go.
It doesn't have to be for me,
Ma'am, you're not making any sense.
but I don't believe that men should be. If they're interested in a woman and they pursue her at some point, they do deserve sex.
No, okay, that's different.
Not
But that's different. But you said you believe all women deserve to be wives, and a wife is an honor title.
it is
Then why do you deserve an honor?
because a lot of women feel like they're honorable women and that they're
I
doing
don't give a shit. What you feel like, ma'am. You went to school. Were you on the honor roll?
me. No.
Okay, you do know what the honor roll is, though.
Yes.
Why weren't you on the honor roll?
I was a bad child. I mean, a bad,
Okay, but in your scenario, you deserve to be on the honor roll.
I did, but I didn't work hard for it.
You didn't deserve to be on the honor roll if you didn't do the work.
Exactly.
So, ma'am, you must do the work before you deserve. You don't deserve anything. You earn.
Hmm. Okay, well, maybe I used the wrong word.
So, what do you think all women deserve? I mean, all women. You think every woman on this planet should have a shot at being should get married?
Yeah, I do. Every woman deserves a shot at being married. They do.
Can't make that up. Do you have any sons?
No, I have two daughters.
Thank you. That's why you talking this shit.
Oh,
Because if you had sons, you'd say, "Hey, well, you know what, son? Go ahead and marry her. Forget what she brings to the table. She deserves to be married.
watch.
Deserve,
Um,
deserve, deserve, man. Deserve is something you earn.
okay.
Do men just deserve sex, or do they earn? We have to earn the right to have sex. Meaning, you're not supposed to be able to have sex unless you can actually provide for a woman and take care of the child that springs forth, right?
Right.
Okay, but in your scenario, all that stuff don't need to be there. I just have a penis, you got a vagina, I deserve it.
Well, I think he took what I said out of context, but
Okay.
and I just
I
echo.
don't think all women deserve to be married.
Oh,
All women are wives.
all women aren't wives. You're right about.
Then if you
Maybe I should
okay,
they deserved it because all women aren't wives. You're right.
Well, if all women aren't wives, then all women don't deserve to be married.
You're right.
Because that means some men will be marrying women that were not wives.
Right.
See, you women's advocates always are looking out for the woman's side. You don't look out for the men's side.
I do look out for the men's side a lot. Um, there are a lot of
Okay.
men out here, you know,
Okay.
the things that they desire as well.
So you are a divorcee.
Yes.
You have $2. Is that her back there?
Yeah, that's my daughter.
Okay. Father involved in the life?
He's deceased. He died 2 years ago.
Okay. Okay. Um,
But he
are
was.
you raising are you raising your daughters to be wives?
Yes, I am. My daughter is on honor roll.
That's a good student. That's not necessarily a wife.
And she's on honor roll. She has a nice personality. She's smart. She works hard.
Sounds like a decent human being, but that is not a wife. What is a wife?
She cooks. She's domesticated.
She's a helpmeet to a man.
Mm-hmm.
She she cooperates with him. So all the things you just ran down was a citizen. But raising a daughter to be a wife means you're preparing her to be in partnership with the man for a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're saying you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of talks about relationships do I have?
We have really long talks about relationships and the things that should be accepted and shouldn't be accepted, and what you should
Mm-hmm.
do to have
What you should you kind of broke up. I couldn't hear what you should what?
to do as a woman to make sure
Mm-hmm.
that she's the wife that a man needs
Okay.
at the time of when that time comes.
Okay. About what age do you think that time should come?
Um, for her, I hope it's like 30.
What about your other daughter?
She is 19, and she's on the spectrum. She likes girls.
Okay. So you want your daughter to be an old woman when it comes to be married.
No, I want her to have her. I want her to be educated. I want her to have a college degree before she gets married.
Why?
So that she has that certificate, so that she has that knowledge.
What does a college degree have to do with a husband?
Well, maybe she'll find her husband in college.
And she's not going to graduate till 30?
And no, no. But if she wants,
Then why so long?
well, because I expect for her to pursue school for
Mm-hmm.
for actually.
Uh-huh. And what? She's going to get a master's, a PhD? What?
I'm a PhD.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And then how? And she going to use that? Is she going to use that PhD to work?
Mm-hmm. But
Right.
at the point,
You
like,
can't make it up. You can't make it up. So, in other words, you're raising your daughter to be another one of these single women.
no.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
Why?
Because
Tell me why.
30 is old for marriage, ma'am.
Is it? I didn't think that was old.
What age does geriatric pregnancy typically start for a woman?
19.
Geriatric pregnancy, meaning old pregnancy.
Oh,
35. So if she gets married at 30,
I thought it was 40.
I'm like, you need to go back to school. Ma'am, 30 years old, what you're doing is you're raising your daughter to get out here, to go get a college degree, to live her life, to experience it, and to get out here and have her fun and be an independent woman. And then you think at 30, she's going to turn around and be able to pick a man off the tree. That's not how that works. You're not really raising your daughter to be a wife. You're raising your daughter to be an independent, modern woman.
Okay. I'm listening.
Yeah, and that's why one in four black women will never marry in their lifetime because of what you're talking about. Because when I ask you if you're raising your daughter to be a wife, You started citing her education. The first thing, if you watch my show, that's why this whole sound is so funny, because that's what you ladies tend to think we about. You don't go to school to get a bachelor's, a master's, and a PhD. All that student loan debt, unless you're rich. You're gonna have student loan debt, right? Then
Possibly.
who's got? Yeah, then who's gonna have to pay that? She gonna just drop it on her husband? Because you can't be a professional and a mother. You got to pick. So you're gonna have 4, 6, 8 years of college to what? Just go be a mom? No, that's not how that works. You're raising her to survive the world alone. Nothing in what you said have you talked about, I'm raising her to learn how to cooperate with a man.
You're right.
This is what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow night, why your mothers fail you, ladies.
Okay.
Mothers fail their daughters in this way. You teach them how to be independent, and then you wonder why they can't find men. You say you talk about relationships. Okay. What do you talk about relationships with her? You say in order to know what you need to do for that man, you tell her what to look for in a man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but what do you tell her to do for a man?
To be submissive.
What does that mean?
To be submissive to him as you are to God.
Okay, submissive. What does submissive mean to you? Because she's so submissive as you are to God. So that means she
I,
submits to her husband. So that means she submits to her husband like God.
as she would to God, yeah, because if she
Hmm.
has God in her life, then her husband will come second.
Say the what?
If she's submissive to God first, then her husband would come second. After.
Ooh, no, not really. It's not how that works.
Okay. Well, teach me.
That's not how that works. Your husband comes first.
Okay.
You submit to the God in your husband. See, this is why you guys got to tune in tomorrow, because I don't sense that you're being malicious, man.
Okay.
But you ladies were taught wrong. You're teaching your daughter
All wrong. So
to.
I'm not.
I'm saying, I know. That's why I said you're not being malicious. I'm not. I'm saying you're not.
And I
It's just
honestly have tried to change the dynamics because I was taught so wrong.
right. So this is what I'll be talking about tomorrow. The Black community, to break the civil rights movement, it was blunted with two things: feminism and liberal theology. Black women they used the church to separate black men and black women under this notion of equality. Black women have always been educated and always, but never most women go to school to find a husband. Black women are going to school to prove they don't need them. And when you talk about submission, submit to your husband, but to Christ first. You submit to the God in your husband.
You're right.
Okay. Domestically, does your daughter know how to cook?
Yeah, she's cooking right now.
Cool. How long were you married?
I was with him for the 13 years and we were married 5.
Did they watch you actually cooperate with him in the household?
Yes.
All right. Women need to talk to their daughters about how to live and cooperate with a man, not what to expect the man to do for them. Women today are expecting men to do for them while they do this. And due respect, this going to school, she's 15. You know what she wants to go to school for?
She's in school for like biological science right now.
But if she went to college, do you know what she'd want to go for?
I'm not sure what she wants to go for right now.
I'm gonna just tell you right now, I have a 21-year-old. And I'm gonna tell you, college is useless unless you're really going for science, engineering, technology, math, some sort of professional degree.
Right.
And if you're going to school for communications is one of the largest communications, sociology, psychology, criminal justice. These are 4-degree paths that are dominated by black women. You go and accrue college debt and end up getting locked into 40 some odd $1,000 a year, $50,000 a year jobs with a ton of debt. You should watch my platform more because you will start to hear women come on and say they wish they had been told not to get into so much student loan debt, to learn how to cooperate with the men, just like Becky, Marisol, Marlene, and Jamila, not delaying marriage until 20, 30 years old. If you work in corporate America and your daughter comes out of school at 22, 21 to 23, she'll go to work and she'll see her non-black counterparts going to weddings between the ages of 23 and 26, while black women are going out to have hot girl summers. And then by the age of 27 to 30 is when they finally start to think about slowing down. But that's after relationships that are broken up, with no commitment, no strings, and really never learning how to cooperate with the man. And at 30, you really start having women starting to feel like they need to slow down or settle. Then they look back at the men that they want to marry, and because they have a certain standard of life, they've been on their own for so long, they want men to have at least what they have or more, which is natural hypergamy. But then that means you only have a small sliver of men to choose from. The older you are, the longer you wait, the smaller your marital pool gets. It is more likely that in her college years, she will meet a suitable man to marry if he's a young man. But then that means you have to worry, build, and grow. Most women don't want their daughters to marry a young man because he's too young. You don't want her to marry an older man because that really should be your man. So these women are getting told, wait. And waiting is a horrible decision.
Now, I didn't say I didn't want her to be in a relationship. I just didn't want her to like really just seal the deal until she's.
Oh, so you want her to have sex without commitment. Oops. Yeah, like I said, I said it. You want her to get out there and live her life, ride the carousel. So this is a mother. I understand, and you think that's helping her. Get out here. Let me ask you, as what do you think your daughter is going to learn dating this guy that's going to help her be with this guy?
Nothing, because nothing.
Thank you. So what you just said, relationship means nothing. Dating is dumb.
Right.
It's dumb. You don't need to date this guy to learn how to be with this guy. You need to be with the man and learn how that man flows.
Right.
See, you haven't asked yourself questions from the men's side. It's just been, I want my daughter to have options and be happy and make her choices. No, they need to be guided. They need to be told that you don't need to be out here dating and doing. You need to actually preserve value. Because let me tell you, especially for men that are worth something, I asked this question on Monday. Ladies, what do you have to offer a man that you want, what he wants, that you haven't given to another man?
Yeah, I wish I was able to join that. I watched it after.
So dating, I get it. You're trying to give your daughter options, but we need to give them parameters. Parameters. And understanding that men are not the enemy, men are not something to be feared. And like it or not, that unless you are in the 6% of women earning six figures or more, you're not going to make enough money to live this life. For example, if you live in Dallas, Houston, Austin, someplace where the cost of living is 100%, if a woman from age 25 to retirement age 65 was making $50,000 a year, that's almost twice as much as the average black woman. If she was making that $50,000 a year and getting a cost of living raise of 3% over a 40-year career, and over that 40-year career, she put away $200 a month. By the time she reached retirement age, she would still have a shortfall for retirement of almost $800,000. You're going to need between 65 and 85, $2.7 million to retire on. And one person can't do it. These countries aren't set up for single people, middle class. So there is no getting through to the end of life by single. So unless she's going to make $150,000, $200,000 a year and be smart with it, You need to get with a man, build with a man, stay with him, and learn how to cooperate with him, not worry about the ups and downs and go through all the stuff they're married. Turn in tomorrow, because I think this is going to be a good lead-in conversation
I
to
would.
how mothers, and I make the provision that I don't think mothers intentionally fail their daughters. And we have already seen how mothers can fail sons. That's why you get men out here who don't know how to lead.
Mothers fail their daughters all the time.
But we don't talk about it.
Yeah, it's
We
not.
don't we don't talk about it
Let's
because
talk about it,
because
about where they failed at with
mm,
daughters.
we we don't mothers women don't talk about where their mothers fail their daughters, because it's going against the sister code, and the women have respect for their mothers. And it's like a really weird thing, because it's like I can't speak out, especially in the Black community. You don't question mama. We gotta question mama, because
There's
our community, because we are where we are.
yeah, exactly.
I think this is a good call. I'll use this as a lead in.
Okay.
Remember, everybody don't deserve marriage. We have to earn marriage. Men have to earn the right to look for a wife, because you got to be able to provide.
Yeah.
And a woman has to earn the title of being wife, because that separates herself from the other women who just out there doing what they ain't got no business doing.
Right.
Have a good night.
You too.
Bye bye. So I think that was good, man. We got to have more conversations like that, and I think it's going to be a hard conversation tomorrow night for women to understand that their mothers have failed them. Girl, don't worry about no man. Go go to college, get a degree, become independent, learn how to take care of yourself, and then you get out here and you're amongst the men, and the men are like, all we can do is date and have sex. There's nothing to build on, because your job is number one. Your job is your husband. Where your job ain't taken up, either your job or your dog or your cat. If you have a kid, men are trying to compete for the fourth, fifth, or sixth spot. The job, the pet, God, kid, girlfriends. Men are competing for the other hand.